Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the KotLC Fanbase channel. My name is Joey and today we're going to be going over some more KotLC confessions. I know you guys love this series and I love it too, so we're just going to continue on. And I do know that Stellaloon has just released, but do note that this will have no Stellaloon spoilers. We are going to be avoiding talking about Stellaloon for about a month just to let everyone read the book, but I will personally say that I am so close to finishing it. So all I ask is that you don't comment anything about Stellaloon so people can read the comments. So if you don't know what KotLC confessions are, you are in for a treat. I basically gave you guys a form where you could anonymously submit any KotLC opinion, and I'm going to be reviewing them today in this video. So if you're excited for this confessions video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what was the craziest confession from this video. I know there are going to be a lot to pick from. So without further ado, let's get straight into the confessions. I hate Keith so much. He's so overrated. Why doesn't everyone realize that he's always playing for sympathy? What do you mean by he's playing for sympathy? He like genuinely, like, you have to feel sympathetic towards him for all the things that's happened to him. It's not like he's playing for it. Besides Sophie, obviously, he's gone through so much stuff compared to anyone else throughout the series, so it's not like he's playing that up. I don't support the Never Seen, but I agree with some of their beliefs. I don't think it's fair that people discriminate based on abilities, and I honestly think that the counselors are bad leaders, except for Bronte and Orlai. Again, I don't support the Never Seen, but I have to agree with these few things. I think the Never Seen, or somebody has pointed out before, that the Never Seen and the Black Swan's like ideals aren't that far off, because they want to change the Lost Cities, and they kind of sort of both disagree with the council in a way. But the difference is how they carry out those beliefs. Obviously, the Never Seen is very violent, and they, you know how they are. So they have sort of the same beliefs, but very, very different ways of executing their plans. And that's why the Never Seen's bad and then Black Swan is good. I ship Stina and Dex. Honestly, Stina's character's arc is so amazing and I really love her as a character. Why does everyone hate her so much? I feel like Stina, there is a character arc, but she still really hasn't changed at all. Like, she's still kind of, like annoying and rude to Sophie, even though she's supposed to have gone through this big change with the character, but she really hasn't. I still don't really like Stina, but I can see that changing. I think Grady X'd out Fitz and Keith out of Team Valiant. It's just a theory. I don't really think Grady had any say in Team Valiant because it was the council's, decision and stuff. But it's actually pretty good that Fitz and Keith aren't in there, because that would be pretty distracting for Sophie, obviously, and there would be a lot more arguing, a lot more conflict. So I think it's actually good that Fitz and Keith aren't in there. Sophie should marry Dex? I don't really know where you're coming from here. That ship has long synced. That ship has synced long ago. I stay up until midnight reading KotLC. Me too. I just got Stellaloon and I had to read it the whole day. I stayed up until midnight. I think a lot of people do this. No shame in it. No shame. Lady Gisela is the most well-written character. I hate her, love her character, and understand her all at the same time. I think that really shows, how good of a character she is if you could feel all these emotions about her, and all of them are correct. She's definitely an amazing character, one of the best in the series in my opinion, and I love Lady Gisela, and that's true. Like, you can hate her for what the things that she's done, but you can love her because her character is so good. Dins? I thought Dex's last name was pronounced Dins until Shannon put the pronunciations in Unlocked. Didn't they say that, like, it sounded like Disney because Sophie, like, saw his name, and she was like, because, like, Sophie, like, saw his name, and she was like, oh, like Disneyland, and he was like, I have a land named after me? So, like, we know it sounds exactly like Disney, so I don't know where you got Dins from. Dex might be a little ugly, not gonna lie, but he's still pretty cute. You kind of just, like, contradicted yourself in the same sentence. But I know what you mean. Oriole. When I first saw Orlai's name, I pronounced it like Oriole, like the bird. I didn't realize till Alina took Kendrick's place that I was pronouncing it wrong. Councillor Oriole. That's crazy. I always thought Morella was pronounced Morella until I read Unlocked. Apparently it's pronounced Marella, and I'm like, no way, Jose, I'm sticking to mine. I've always said Morella, and I don't want to change, and here's the thing about pronunciations in KotLC. It doesn't really matter how you say the words, they're all up to interpretation, it doesn't really matter. So you can call Keith Keefy, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I have had multiple nightmares about the almost kiss in flashback. As SoKeef shippers around the world, honestly, who hasn't? No, I'm just kidding, but seriously, that scene, I don't really want to, you're making me think about it, and I don't really want to think about it. I mean, I'm forever grateful to Sylvie for interrupting what might have happened there. Oh my gosh. I sometimes wonder if Fitz died, would that make a lot of things better? You can't say that. You just can't say that. No matter how much you don't like his character, you can't say that. I have tried to pull on my eyelashes. It does hurt, and I want it to be a nervous habit, but it still seems unnatural. Don't make that a nervous habit. That's not a good thing. Do not try this at home. Do not pull out your eyelashes. It's not good. Whenever I meet a person I will never see again, I tell them that my name is Sophie or Bianna or Morella. That is like that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in like one of these confessions things, because it's so random, but it's also like the best way to subtly just mess with people, because there's no repercussions. It's not like you're never gonna see him again. That is so funny. I always pronounce Keef as Keefy, and even though I found out I was wrong, I still do. That is great. That's what we need, that type of energy. Just keep going with your ways. It's perfect. Keefy is just as valid as Keef, okay? Let's be honest. Literally everyone sucks except for Sophie, Keef, and Dex. What about like Grady and Edeline, or like Sandor or Ro? What about Ro? I think you're forgetting some key characters, but I don't disagree with you, okay? No way. I honestly ship Bianna and Keef. Forget about Dex and Sophie ship being sailed. The Bianna and Keef ship was literally over before the books even started. I think like I think Keef once kissed Bianna on the cheek, and like she's already over that a long time ago. I don't really like the cover for Unlocked. I like this cover a lot because it's unique, obviously. It's like the one cover that isn't a scene from the books. It also looks really cool. Sophie's riding on Sylvanie, and you got like the 4 places. She's coming out of the void in these 4 places. I think it looks really cool. I think Sophie is really annoying and doesn't deserve to be with Keef. I want him for myself. I was waiting for that part at the end, honestly. I absolutely love the KotLC series. It's such a comfort series, but I feel like the plot is being dragged out a little too much, and Shannon should have wrapped it up in a max of 8 books. Well, originally the series was only supposed to be 3 books, and then it got extended to like 5, and then it got extended to like 8. And I think it's just been so successful that she's keep extending it, and this allows Shannon to share the full story, because I'm sure she was ready to end it at 5 books or at 8 books. So I am glad that, the story is going to be wrapped up exactly how Shannon intended it to be. Whenever I used to read fandoms and read comments talking about Ro, I thought they were talking about Roy. I was so confused until I read Nightfall. I feel like this happens to a lot of people, and the best advice I can give is if you haven't finished the books yet, just don't read any comments or any because you are 100% going to get spoiled in some way or another. KotLC is super good, but honestly, Shannon needs to speed things up. There's been chapters of Sophie just walking outside, and that's it. Honestly, the books move really slowly and I can't stand it. This is true, but I feel like it's always like there's a book that's really fast paced and then there's a book that's really slow paced. They've been building up to this whole thing throughout the book, and it's moved slowly, and then something really, really big happens at the end. That's actually most of the KotLC books, honestly. But I feel like that's just how KotLC is, and that's just, part of the experience. I love the series, but I have to admit, I wish the series was a little bit more put together. It's a bit all over the place. I enjoy it, and it's my favorite book series of all time, but I feel like all 9 books so far have just been a lead up. I don't think Shannon can fit the rest of the story in just 1 or 2 books. So here's the thing about, how it's all over the place. Shannon rarely puts in detail and then forgets about it. Most of the things are there for a reason, and that's why so many people have these theories where like somebody's dad was mentioned to be a Guster. Oh, what if that's Trix because he's a Guster? Something like that. And most of the time it ends up, being correct because Shannon always puts in that detail that he was a Guster for a reason. So although it is extremely all over the place, I do feel like a lot of things have been wrapped up already, even before Stellar Loon, and I'm sure that Stellar Loon will wrap up so much more things. After I read this series, I started picking out my eyelashes and eyebrow hairs. I keep trying to stop, but I can't. Please don't do this. I already said this before, don't do this. It's not good. I used to pronounce Lady Gisela as Lady Gisela until I read Unlocked. Gisela, yeah. I was reading Unlocked when I read that Tam and Lynn had dwarven bodyguards since the beginning of Flashback, and then they just let Tam get taken by the Neverseen and didn't do anything to help? Well, if I remember correctly, they traded Tam for Sylvanie because Neverseen needed a shade because Umber just died, and Tam kind of unwillingly but willingly, let himself get taken by the Neverseen so they wouldn't hurt the Alicorns or so they wouldn't hurt Lynn. So it's not like the bodyguards didn't do anything, it's that they had to make that trade. Elven economy doesn't make sense. How can 1 luster equal $1 million and every elven kid ever born have 1 million lusters? I was thinking the same thing, it just really doesn't make sense at all. Cause like they have like the working class city of Mysterium where like everybody is like living in apartments and stuff. And then they have like Grady and Edeline who are emissaries and they're living like in this giant house in the middle of nowhere in this beautiful, you know, like meadow. What's stopping the elves that are townless that are living in apartments in Mysterium from buying or, you know, making a house in the middle of nowhere? If they have the same amount of money, it doesn't make sense to me. I think Sophie's spending way too much time on the love triangle, so no wonder the Never Seen's always 5 steps ahead of us. This is really true. I can't deny it. Throughout the whole book, Shannon always likes to focus on the love triangle, and I think it's just natural because Sophie's obviously she's a teenage girl. It's bound to happen, those distractions. So it just makes it more real, to be honest. I once screamed, "Fitz is hot" at the top of a roller coaster. Don't judge me, I had only read the first book. Is this just like a universal experience that like when we're on roller coasters, you just like scream whatever you want because like no one can understand what you're saying or hear you? And I don't judge you at all about that, by the way. Unpopular opinion, I like Lord Cassius. He's seriously my 3rd favorite character after Sophie and Keith. Please don't hate me, but he cracks me up. I do like Lord Cassius too. I know. He's just kind of like a mysterious and cool guy. It seems like he knows so much stuff that like he just never shares. I don't know. I shipped Sophitz in the first book. I don't know why. I feel like it's really hard not to ship Sophitz in the first book. When people say they ship Soki from the moment they met Keith, it's a little bit hard to, you know, believe them because, I mean, he's barely in there in the first book, to be honest. Alright, this is going to be the last confession. There is way too many members of the council. There should be just 6. Bronte, Orlai, Carrick, Alina, Emery, and then 2 other people. Not Tarek, he's overrated like Dex and Alden and Lynn and Sophie and a lot of other people. Okay. I feel like the reason that there's 12 members of the council is because number 1, there is no tiebreaker, there's no odd number. And number 2, if you have that many more people who are all experienced, you're gonna come to a better decision because there's just more people, you know, looking into it or working on it. If there's only 6 people, there's only so much they can do compared to, you know, 12, obviously. So that is going to wrap up this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed these KotLC confessions. I always enjoy them. These are some of my favorite videos to make. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. We're so close to 13,000 subscribers and that is crazy. Comment down below what was your favorite confession from this video. And please do not spoil Stellar for all the people who haven't read it yet. That's going to be for me. Happy reading and I'll see you guys in the next video.